So then next off, we went around the corner and there were the guys from Strymon and Hot Tone. Yes, what you thought was Hotone or Hot One is Hot Tone.
We spoke about this previously because I have the Hotone, the Hot Tone Soul Press here, which I'll be demoing soon. It's a wah expression volume all in one and the size of a smartphone.
I mean, I don't want to, sort of veer on the side of casual racism here, but I mean, they did say the thing is that Hot Tone are a Chinese company. They've got some incredibly smart people working for them, but I think as we've all found over the years, Chinglish does start to come in. They kind of, when they came up with the name, they thought we would all read it as Hot Tone and didn't realise that it was, Ho Tone or Hot, it all got a bit messy. So, I mean, the guys over in China know this. They actually think it's quite funny now. I don't think they'll ever change it. That's great.
No.
But they also sort of carry, we spoke to Chris Goody, who works for Music Cycle Limited. They're the distributor in the UK for both Strymon and Hot Tone, which is really interesting. Two massively different ends of the price range there. I focused in on the Flint from Strymon because it's just the best goddamn pedal in the world ever. I think, that harmonic trem and plus the reverb on the other side. Me and Andrew would like one, please, Strymon, if you'd like to send
I'm happy
us a
to
couple
sell out
review.
there. If you want to sell it, I'll sell it happily. I'm just looking through these photos even further because the Strymon Flint is something that I would like to add to the Honey Boy. I believe that would work very well together.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'd be cracking. But not to take away from what Hot Tone are doing as well. So they have the Patch Commander, which is a 4-loop, 3-bank. So you end up with 12 lots of presets. Loop switcher also puts it into a mode where you can just use them as stomp box mode. So you hit the button and you just get whatever's in that loop. They're numbered 1 to 4 from right to left, which is doing Andrew's head in, but it's the right way round because loop 1 is the one on the right hand side and loop 4 is on the left hand side.
And that's the right way around because our guitars normally jack in from the right hand side. And therefore the signal goes from, I don't know which way around this is going to be on the camera, but from right to
left to right.
And
I don't know.
It is, as you said, it's really frustrating me that 4 being in the wrong place. But as I was saying that earlier, it actually makes sense that you should be that way around.
Yeah, and this thing's like £100. It's £99.
It's unbelievable,
something ridiculous like that. They do one with a Bluetooth version as well, which will also interface in with the Hot Tone Bluetooth pedals. I think that's about £140, £150 that version of the pedal.
Crazy.
But I if you can't afford a Gig Rig G2, Dan Steinhardt nailed it. It's £700+. I can't afford one of them, but £99, that's more than doable.
I was running the Joyo PXL live for a while, but it was too, in my opinion, as I'm a simple guy with simple needs and simple abilities, I couldn't really operate it well enough to know, for a start, know which button did what. And secondly, when playing live, I didn't know where I was on the pedal. And I can see that this Hot Tone one has lights, a la the Helix.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's got really nice lights. The foot switches are really good. I mean, the foot switches are very similar to, and this is what I bought at the show, my Earthquaker devices underneath, but it's the same kind of soft switch. So you can definitely feel that you've pressed it down and you've got to the bottom, but at the same time, it's not got that clonk, clonk, sort of sound going to it. So
no, it looks amazing. Is it easy to operate?
Super easy. You put it on the patch that you want to change. There are 4 buttons between the 3 and the 4 pedal buttons on the thing. You literally you want on 1 or 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, and that's it. It's set.
Amazing.
And then, like I say, there are 3 banks to these patches, so you've got 12 banks there, which is great. I think that'll pretty much cover it off. So we went around to see the guys at Fidelity Guitars. We spoke to Matt, who's one of the owners and the main luthier at Fidelity. Again,
Yeah.
these are another British guitar brand that's come up in the last sort of 18 months or so. Again, they've had real interest in the UK amongst the sort of vloggers and bloggers, over here.
Yeah.
They're handcrafted in Cambridge. They're loud and proud that they're British made, British designed, put together. Ollie was lucky enough to have a go on one. I think I've got some footage of Ollie playing through a Hampstead amp. Fidelity have got their own look. Absolutely got their own
Hmm.
look. It's kind of like, that double cup Fender sort of shape as a bass. If you want a guitar that doesn't look like anybody else's guitars, then Fidelity, and you want to buy British Fidelity, are a no-brainer. They're handcrafted over here. They're about that money. If that's the
So
kind,
that's totally made in the UK.
yes,
That's not shipped
no,
out somewhere
no,
else
they're
and
not
then
shipped
brought
out
in.
anywhere else. They're not made anywhere else. They're designed, luthiered, built, all everything's done here in the UK with the Fidelity guitars. So
I'm getting a big Brian May Red Special vibe from the one that isn't even red or special,
yeah,
but it's reminding me of the Red Special. It's instantly sort of classic looking, but different, as you said. And what's the kind of tone? Are we in the Les Paul sort of area or Tele
difficult to
area,
kind of
or
say. A little bit of both. Um,
because it looks
yeah,
like both of
they've
those, but
kind
with
of
a
got
Tele
that wide
bridge.
range sort of humbuckery kind of feel to them. So sound wise,
Mm.
they're a little bit strange actually. They kind of go between Gretschy and a little bit Fendery and a little bit Gibsony. So they've got pretty much everybody covered, I think.
It looks like a great guitar and something that I will contact the guys
Yeah.
for, but I may have to travel to them by the sounds of things.
So then we
I'll do
moved
that.
on to probably the nicest and coolest named person in the entire show. So Mr. Edwin Cole at Cock Amplification. The Cock amp, the Greg. It's called the Greg. It's that wonderful blue colour. It's got controls on the front. It's got controls on the top. You've got to watch his videos. They'll explain everything. These are not cheap. These are well over £2,000. Pushing 3,000. I think pounds. They do everything. They are literally an amp that was built for a man who knew exactly what they're doing. The thing with them is they've got their flat sound, so you can go from clean to clean with a boost, and then they've got this system called OTS, which is kind of more. It's an
Hmm.
extra gain stage that you can engage in the amp. Um, Again, Greg explains this way better than I ever could. These things sound incredible. The one that we got to see on Sunday was one of the pre-production models. They're just tweaking all the stuff out. There's going to be sort of silver and leather ends on the corners, and there's going to be silver piping around it and all sorts of stuff.
I have to ask, what the control panels on the front and on the top,
Yeah,
are they controlling different things,
yes.
or have you got?
Oh yeah. So your
Okay.
front panel is pretty much your basic guitar panel. It's what channel that you're on. A
Hmm.
basic EQ setting, how much sort of gain or not do you want, a bit of reverb, and that's about it. Front panel, dead simple. On the top is the tremolo, is a bit more on the reverb, different gain sort of things. I think that's where the boost and the
Hmm.
OTS settings are as well. So the whole amp is, to look at it, you start to think, well, that's a bit weird. The way that they've designed it, the way that Greg Koch wanted it to be designed was, you want stuff that you can tweak where it's right for it to tweak, and you want stuff that you just want to set and leave where you want it to set and leave. And that's why they've split the controls. The cabinet that this thing's built in is huge. It's a massive cabinet, but I think it's a 15-inch speaker in this thing. Because, yeah,
15.
because Greg Koch loves 15-inch speakers. They built this amp for him. It's as simple as that.
What is the voicing on this? Is it a Fender
It
sort of
starts off
voicing?
Fender. But it's got some sort of mid-range punch in there as well. It'll pretty much do everything. I mean, like I said, if you want to know exactly what this thing sounds like, you're better off watching a Greg Koch video. It sounds phenomenal. And Edwin Call, Mr. Call, honestly, I can't say enough nice things about the guy. He was incredibly gracious with his time. He's not a native English speaker. He comes out the Netherlands. He was incredibly nice and really patient, and showed me not just this. I mean, I focus in on the cock amp, but there's also a number of other amps that they do, and they do them at all sorts of different budget levels as well. Definitely want to go and check out if you're bored with Fender and Marshall and Black Star and all those things.